So one of the things you do at the beginning of every year, and I've known you now for like 7 years, 8 years, and at the beginning of every year you do the same thing, and you're like, I'm making my goals.
Yeah.
And it usually, like corresponds with the year, like 2025, 25 goals.
That's right.
And I've never done that. I've never done that. I always have my to-do list. I have my, like I'm going to get this done this week, this month, whatever. And I have set a number of goals like at the top of the year, and then they get pushed down on my to-do list, and they're on page 4, and I discover them in October. And I was like, I was going to do that thing. I was going to clean the garage. And so like you've made us make lists.
I love that.
Right?
I love to be a happiness bully in this way, a goals bully.
And I'm like, okay, so where do we start? So we talked about this last time, and I think it's super cool that you're making us check in monthly.
Yes, monthly reset.
And that's cool because I've only done like one thing, but started inching toward the other 2, but they're all on my mind now.
Yep.
And I just think that's super cool. And
I'm
I think
like a
everybody
proud
should do this
mama
too.
right now.
Everybody should do this. Really.
You should. Yes, I have my niece and nephew do
so
this.
tell me how you discovered this. When did you start this?
Yeah.
And why this is gonna change the world. Why it's gonna make the world better.
I love you for that. Well, I've always been a goals person, always, my whole life. Been very motivated, write it down, make it happen, all that stuff. But several years ago, I don't even remember how many, maybe 5, 6, something like that, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, the Happier podcast with Gretchen Rubin, and she was doing this. So all credit to her. This was her idea, or she stole it from somebody. I'm not sure. But I was like, oh man, that's genius. I love the kind of whimsical idea of marrying the number of the year and all that stuff. And it just felt like a fun way to get it in my face. And then it just started growing. I started taking a screenshot and putting it as my screensaver and then having it on my wall where I get ready so that I actually do see it. Because like the first year, you're right. It's in my notes in my phone, but how often did I open my notes in my phone? Right. And so I just made it more prevalent all the time, and I got better at it. And what I say, and I might be annoying as you go through your list, but when I say better, I got more specific because I found myself the first year being very vague. Like, I want to lose weight. Well, that doesn't really do anything.
Right.
Because there's no measurable anything there. Or I want to write, a book. Well, how about start with, I want to write the first 2 chapters of a book. So I found myself really getting more granular with it, and then it just took off in my life. And I'm very proud of where it's led me at this point. It's the reason I've done a lot of the things. It's
a wonderful barometer for me, which kind of expands the reach of what I do already. And again, I'm only okay at it because I have I've had the same. You see that says 2025 temp.
Yeah,
I've had the same Google Doc, the same one. I changed the name of the year. I've had it for 10 years.
Yep.
It's 80 freaking pages long of notes and how to do this and where my electricity is plugged in my house in terms of like what circuit breaker is what room. I've got my
your life
whole
manual.
life in this. Yes, exactly.
Literally.
So, but at the top is my to-do list. You'll see it says to do here at the top. Well, anyway, you'll have to trust me.
Yeah.
And so what happens is I always just kick stuff down. So this always ends up down here, and then I forget about it because I'm working on a couple of things up here.
Hence the monthly reset.
Yes. Yes.
That's why it forces all of us to go back
Right.
and look at it.
And it's good. And for me, I'm like, okay, so there's things I want to do with the Soundwaves brand. There's things I want to do creatively. There's things I need to do around my house, and there's things I'd like to do for myself, read more, lose, maintain a weight, that kind of thing. And it's been really, really great for that.
That makes me really happy.
You
have no idea. Yeah. I think the monthly reset came up to, or it could be quarterly, whatever you want to do, whatever makes it relevant to you. What I would say, and I haven't seen your list, so I don't know, but what I would say is make some shit easy too. A lot of people will pile on like their biggest hopes, dreams, and goals for their whole life on this one list for 1 year. And it's like, woof, don't kill yourself here. Get some lofty stuff, but get something easy in there. Like plan a dinner with my besties in January. Okay, great.
Sure.
Sure.
Like I've got reach out to family.
Exactly.
More.
Yeah.
I see that and I go, oh, who haven't I reached out to?
Instead of more, I would say weekly or bi-weekly.
Sure.
Or whatever it is, just so you're like, you find that rhythm.
You bet. Yeah, exactly.
Like my weight training went, like I have to be there 3 times a week. And I've been checking myself. So far this month, I've made it.
Well, before I pass this to Steve, the one thing that I did do that I'm super happy about is that there's a lot of things I want to write and I want to direct and I want to do. I'm working on a documentary. It'll be friggin' done at some point. I don't want to hear it.
He was talking to us, by the way. Not you. It's fine.
I got a lot of shit about it. It's
Not
taken a
you,
long
it's
time.
me.
But there's other things I've wanted to get to writing. Other books, other projects. One book that could become a thing, that's shot. So I'm like, I'm going to do one a month.
Yes.
Whatever that thing is. It's either going to be, I'm going to get to the end of chapter 1 by this end of this month. I'm going to get to the end of whatever. But I started January 4th.
Yeah.
And I'm actually to a point where I'm going to probably finish the month with an outline to a brand new project.
Yes!
And I've been thinking about it for years. But we always think about the thing. And if you're even remotely creative, you write songs, whatever, you think about it. But this is actually giving me kind of the tools to do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I have a goal. And my goal is checking in with him because he's like chief, creative partner here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm like, he's going to be coming up this weekend. I'm going to present this.
Yes.
That's my goal.
I love it.
And
That's
so
fantastic.
it's weird how just having little tiny homework is due Friday. There's something about that that just makes it a little more real and a little more tangible. And now I got a goal. Now I got to get this done by this day.
You have to treat yourself as if these things are other people and or things. For instance, if you're going to go to the gym, write it down like it's a doctor's appointment. You don't cancel it. You show up for yourself like you would respect somebody else's time. Respect your freaking time. And I started doing that. Like I locked it in times. Like these are the days. On Sunday, I do my weekly reset, and I look at the week and I go, all right, like where can I place all of these things that I need to do? And then I show up for them, even if that is me. Show up for yourself. On a big giant board in my gym in my garage, it says "Show up for yourself," and my husband hates it because he walks in and he's like, God damn it, I have to work out now. He does that almost every day. He's like, you and your notes. I'm like, I know, but it's true because it does slap you in the face because your time is important. You need to respect your time and you need to show up for yourself. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.